Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Dermatillo-Diaries. I am delighted to have a special guest with me today for the company producing a product designed to help manage bodily focused repetitive behaviours like skin picking, otherwise known as dermatillomania. Luisa Zettinig is a co-founder and strategy director of Nudge, the company that makes the Nudge band. It's a wristband designed to make you more aware of skin picking or hair pulling and nail biting. Luisa is senior healthcare executive who has spent her career developing and working in clinics and hospitals all around the world with a focus on new projects and products, something she tells me has been useful in developing Nudge. So welcome, Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm delighted to be here, and thanks for having me on. It's fantastic to be talking about BFRBs and raising awareness, and I'm super excited to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. So Nudge is an exciting product and development for those trying to manage their bodily focused repetitive behavior. So can you tell us a little bit more about how you got here today?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic journey. So a very exciting journey. So we started early last year with the initial idea of the product and managed to develop Nudge really quickly and launched end of last year, and were able to get our product into the hands of customers and had the opportunity to talk to a lot of customers and get great feedback. So it's been super exciting to manage such a quick product development and then launching it and getting feedback really quickly on how it works, and also getting really great feedback really quickly as well. So that's been very exciting.
Amazing, because I imagine, if I'm correct, it was like you launched March 2020, so it was like right when everything was locking down all around the world and things were just very uncertain. I imagine that was quite I don't know, was it tricky, or with it being something that you're like selling online, like did it not really make that much of a difference?
Well, it was just the additional challenges of working during a pandemic, and the whole sort of working remotely and putting together a team was something that we all didn't have that much experience with, but up until now. So the additional challenges of working in a pandemic have been something to work through, but somehow I'm very proud we managed to pull it off.
Yeah, amazing. And talking about the feedback that you've received so far, I bet that's been like really rewarding to receive that feedback, because I'm assuming with it being quite a unisex product, like all different types of people, different genders, different ages can use it, and so has the feedback been quite positive and constructive?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of feedback has been very surprising for us as well. It was a consistent message that we were getting was that people all of a sudden felt like they weren't alone as well. So apart from just the product feedback, it was also really insightful to learn about that we were raising awareness and people felt like they weren't alone. So Nudge also sort of opened up this whole world for many people, because they sort of thought, okay, it's a problem that people didn't know up until now, that there was a whole community out there. So that was really, so aside from getting positive feedback on the product itself, it was sort of learning that we've helped raise awareness has been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And not very many products out there can actually help create a community of people, especially like all around the world, like people that you've never met. And I know for myself, like since kind of getting to know other people like online and using products, looking at products that are specifically tailored to help my dermatillomania, it's massively increased like my self-esteem and confidence, just knowing that like I'm not alone, because for many years I felt incredibly alone, and when you've only got the people around you to compare yourself to, it's really easy to think that you've got a problem and there's no one else on this earth that's kind of struggling the same way, especially with that self-critical voice that's just going on and on and on every time you skin pick it in for me, skin picking. So that's really nice to hear. And what I really love about the Nudge band is that it's also so giftable. So I like I mean, when it arrived, the cute packaging, which I've got this right here. The cute packaging there. It's like this cute little box, and I love the way that you pull it open, and it just says like, look under here, and then it's got your charger, it's got the little leaflets that explain things, and it's so sweet. And I think I really enjoyed even just opening it, and the whole like using it. I found it really interesting, really easy to understand. And so I think that is also really beneficial, because taking the first step with something where you're trying to help yourself in that way can be very daunting. So having a product that's really, not intimidating, very easy to use, and enjoyable to use and to get to know, for me, I really liked that.
Thank you for that feedback. I think for us, it was important to have a whole, the presentation was really important, and the brand that we're trying to build. So we didn't want it to be too clinical. We wanted it to be fun and accessible, as you say. So yeah, we focused on having a whole positive experience around the unboxing and getting to know your advice and the device, and making it feel accessible and welcoming.
Yeah, it definitely does feel welcoming. And those that I've met over the years that are struggling with a bodily focused repetitive behavior, I've recommended Nudge, because I think, not only do I really enjoy it, but it is something that you could purchase as a gift to someone that could really benefit from it. So I think it's not only is it great for yourself, but it's also lovely to give to someone else, in my opinion. So yeah, I have some questions from the community. So those that are checking this out for the first time, prior to having conversations as such, I like to put questions out on social media, so that it's not just my questions that I have, but actual questions from other people that could really be helpful for them to hear and get to know. So someone has asked if this bracelet actually can help reduce skin picking. Can you kind of explain how it works for anyone that's completely new to Nudge, and if it can help reduce their skin picking?
So it's a small wristband that is simple and easy to use. So you wear, it looks like a fitness tracker, and it vibrates when you're raising your hand to your face. And the vibration alert makes you aware that you're about to touch your face. So it works really well for people who are touching their face and skin and around their head. And it works well for people with sort of face with touching issues around the head. And of course, it doesn't work for if you have problems on other body parts or so, it doesn't work as well. But we've received really great feedback from a lot of people, and the vibration alert helps them raise their awareness that they're about to touch their face, and lets them sort of distract themselves, and helps change their behaviors and make changes to their routines.
Amazing. And so somebody also asked, would the Nudge work if lying down? Because I know from my experience, and presumably other people as well, skin picking can be, all around the clock. And so there'll be times where, I know with my own experience, I woke up in the night doing it with many times. And so when you're lying down in bed, for example, would it activate, would it vibrate the same way if you were touching, I don't know, say like your chest or your shoulders or something like that?
Yeah, well, it works best when you're sitting at your computer, when you're watching TV or sitting down or just reading a book. When you're lying down stretched out, it works with doesn't work so well because it works with gesture recognition. So it kind of depends where your body is at and how the gesture works. And if you're stretched out, it's works best when you're sort of sitting or upright and doing certain activities.
Cool. So you'd probably recommend in that case, like charging it overnight or what have you, but putting it on your counter ready to use it in the morning, and then the same way that you'd wash your face, brush your teeth or whatever, you put your device on, the nudge band, and you just like crack on with your day. Cool. Yeah. Amazing. And so another question is, have you any plans for creating a tracking system for when you are nudged most? So say, for example, if I pick my face the most, will there be something in the pipeline that can kind of like track this so that people get a better understanding, like insights of what they're doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've had that customer feedback, and we know that tracking is important, that you learn a lot by tracking your behavior. So that's definitely something that we would be looking to build into an app of future development.
Cool. Yeah. I think like from my own personal experience over the years, like finding out common denominators in patterns is not just like bodily areas, because obviously it can change. But I know for me, keeping track of bodily areas, but also like environments, like where I am, the time of day, that's kind of helped me over time to figure out, you know, if there's anything in my environment that might be causing me to pick more, say like studying or working at your desk or something like that. And I found the nudge band was helpful with that as well, because I realized, you know, if I'm working and it's vibrating more often than when I'm out doing other things, then I could attribute that to, okay, I skin pick more when I'm working. You know, could it be that I'm stressed? Could it be that that I'm quite tired and need a break? And so those vibrations are really helpful because they kind of pull me back into the present moment, to think, you know, what do I need right now? Because obviously I'm self-soothing. For something else, you know. So I find the nudge band really helpful to just kind of pull you back into that moment and rethink, rather than just being on auto mode and
pilot,
and skin picking.
I think tracking and learning more about your own behaviors and sort of the patterns is really sort of a really important management practice to help you with the BFRBs. And I fully agree. I also have, you know, when I'm at work and something's stressful or I'm thinking about something, you know, there's always this sort of areas that you like to go to. So tracking definitely is one of a key to successfully or to help manage your BFRBs. So that's definitely an important feature that we're looking into developing.
Cool, exciting. And for anybody that's new to Nudge, I touched on it before, but how easy would you say it is to look after? So like the charge time, like is it washable? I know that you've got a lot of different styles. I've got a pink one here, I'm wearing my black one. So if I want to change it up, there's like multiple colors on the website at nudgeband.co.uk. So yeah, how easy is it for people to use it? Is it high maintenance? Is it low maintenance?
It's really easy to use. It's a simple product. You can rinse it with soapy water. So, you know, the wristband you can take off and just wash it and rinse it and keep it clean. It's the device itself is splash proof, so you're best off not going for a swim with it. So it shouldn't be completely immersed in water, but it's splash proof. And I think if you want to give it a thorough clean, then you know, you take out the mastermind, and then clean the wristband. That works really well. And in terms of battery life, it depends, you know, how much you use it, but on average it lasts 2 to 3 days. So yeah, it's best to maybe just charge it overnight and then have it ready for the next couple of days.
Absolutely. And what I found was really easy, and you said it just before, is that if you want to change it to another cover, so say, you know, I'm wearing pink and I want to wear the pink band that I have, it's so easy to just like flip, like kind of push it out, because it's just like, I don't know, like maybe an inch and a half inside. It's just this cute little device, and then you can just pull it out, like push it out, and then you just pop it into the other one. But it, once it's in, it stays in. Like it, no, I don't want to make it sound like it exactly, but yeah, I just find that that's very easy to do, and obviously, like when you're charging it, you've got to take that out and connect it to the charge point, and it doesn't take a lot of time to charge it either. So if I realize that mine's running low or it's out of battery completely, then I'll just put it on, you know, charge for a couple hours, and then it's done, or might even be like overnight if I'm tired, so that it's ready in the morning. And then, as you say, like it lasts a few days and I'm good to go. So yeah, I've found it really useful. Another thing that I really like is that there's something really special about wearing something that's positively helping you. Like, so it's like a nice little reminder that you're doing something positive for yourself. And so it's nice when you look down and, you know, if it's vibrating, and you know, there's sometimes, like for myself, if I'm really stressed and I find that I've been skin picking and it vibrates, and I'm like, I know I've done it. but ultimately I associate the vibrating to like a positive voice in my own head of, like, you know, like, come back into the present, have a little thing, like to take a moment, think about, like, you know, how are you feeling, like reconnect with the self. And so many times when it's vibrating, I've been able to kind of like get up from my desk, just go for a little walk around the place, or go outside, or go have a glass of water or something, because after a short time of using it, those vibrations are great reminders to just kind of check in with yourself. So so, you know, a really simple and like easy device to use and to look after, but it, in my experience, has really helped me manage my dermatillomania, and also has helped me manage a more positive relationship with myself too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I also find that just sort of putting it on as a reminder, of course, you know, having the it sort of being a symbol as well, or a reminder that, you know, you're working on yourself. And the gentle vibration, you know, we've had really great feedback. You know, maybe it doesn't work for everybody, but I think for we've had really positive feedback from many people. So I think the slight nudge and vibration alert really helps a lot of people to pull them back in the present and become more aware.
Cool. Yeah, that's amazing to hear. And I know, like, on your social media channels, like your Instagram, you've got a, you know, an active community there that engage and share their stories, and you've got, you know, posts that people have created, like artwork of image, and like that must be so lovely to see, you know, a product that you've created to help other people, and by doing so you've created a community, and quite literally like changing people's lives for the better.
Yeah, it's been an amazing feeling, and it's quite overwhelming, the feedback as well. And it's finding some, or to be able to build a community, to connect people, for people who sort of felt they were really alone, to, you know, to give them a resource and access to information, and just, you know, the feeling that you're not alone out there and that you can connect with others. That's been quite overwhelming, and there's been some feedbacks that have been brought me to tears. But it's really, the whole mental health awareness is definitely increased a lot during the pandemic, but it's very rewarding and great to be to have a space in that community, and to have developed a product that actually helps.
Yeah,
very
that must
proud.
just feel fantastic. And honestly, like you're helping so many people, you and your team.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt in my mind that Nudge is going places. It's getting stronger and stronger, considering you guys only launched just over a year ago. Like that is truly amazing what you've been able to achieve in the relatively short time. And already, you know, you're looking at new ways to build the brand and to take things further. So it's a really exciting time for Nudge.
Definitely. Yeah. So it's great. So we're, as you're saying, we're, first of all, we're just, we're trying to build on that momentum to create, continue building a community, raising awareness, and then of course also looking into further product developments and adding new features and refining. But also we're still completely in a learning process. It's really important for us to hear from customers what they think is more useful, and sort of get those get the feedbacks and the voices of the customers and more insights into what helps and what sort of features are people are looking for.
Cool. Yeah, I think I guess that's how you know something's really going to work, isn't it? Like I mean, if I could even imagine of creating something, I could only really go with what I thought could do well. But then I could be really confident with it and then take it to people and they're like, no, I'd never use that. And so I suppose like with any brand or business, like getting that valuable feedback from community members is so important, so that you are really confident with, because you guys are working so hard to deliver amazing products to them. And so it's really great that you've got that active growing community that obviously love Nudge and love to be part of the journey, because watching Nudge go from strength to strength and being part of that, it's a very personal thing, because it's a very personal product. Not a lot of products really look after or help manage things that are so personal to people. And from my experience, my dermatillomania, I've had it since I was 13, and I'm 29 next month. So it's over half my life, and for the majority of that time I didn't talk to anybody about it, because talking to friends and family, they just wrote it off as a habit. Medical professionals at the time did too. And so for many years I just thought, I have to get my act together and just stop doing it, but in recent years and coming forward and talking about it, it's the community is growing. People are understanding their compulsive behaviors and being able to get support and treatment, and products such as Nudge that have been specifically created to help them. It's just fantastic, really, isn't it?
Yeah, we were coming back to something you said earlier. So we were really sort of almost laser focused on getting out a product quickly, because, we were just not sure if it would actually help or how people would react. So that was a really important part of the sort of product development stage, that we wanted to get something that was simple to use and easy into the hands of customers fast, just to learn in the process and see what helps. And in general, as you were saying, there is a lot more awareness around BFRBs, and I started sort of suffering as well in the sort of early teens. I remember having issues with skin picking as well, and as you say, similar to your experience, I always thought it was a bad behavior, but sort of had phases where it was worse, and it sort of helped me as well to learn that I'm fortunate that it's not very bad or debilitating for me, but it's helped me sort of frame the issue as well and learn more about and so sort of for me to frame it and to to learn more about solutions has also helped me in the process. The last year I've got a lot better at not picking, so my skin is good at the moment, and that's an additional benefit.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good when you can test your own product out on yourself, right? And be like, is this working? Yes. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh, and so touching on your struggles with compulsive skin picking, obviously what you've been able to achieve is astonishing. You know, it's extraordinary. And I'm sure, well, I don't know, unless this was a dream for many years, I assume that a younger self would not have estimated that you would then be doing something like this, you know, a few years on. So with that, what would you say to your younger self if you know, were in a room with them for half an hour or whatever? Like, what would you kind of say to them, that person who believes that their compulsive behavior is nothing more than a habit, and or feeling quite low after they've skin picked? And yeah.
I think also embracing it and recognizing it, and tuning into yourself as well. For me, it was definitely also sort of a stress relief thing, and I liked picking my skin because, you know, it's rewarding at the time, but then not rewarding shortly after. So I think acknowledging that, you know, it doesn't help, and being honest to yourself about skin picking is a really important. I suffered a lot with acne and struggled as well, and then I had that treated, and then it was, of course, the skin picking got less as well because I had acne treated. But I think sort of accepting the problem is definitely, I think it's something that I would recommend to my younger self.
Absolutely, because it takes the pressure away, doesn't it? Or at least that's how I've that's what my experience has been.
Yes.
Like, as soon as I've accepted what is, and tried, you know, actively to not fight it, even though after a long skin picking session it's really easy to try and fight it, but having that acceptance just allows you to be open to, you know, looking at what's out there, or looking to engage with other community members, and sharing a story, or speaking to a loved one or a medical professional, or whatever it is that kind of helps you on your personal journey, even if it isn't doing any of those things, and it's just kind of just being easier on yourself, and a bit kinder, you know, and the voice in your head, and be more mindful. I think it definitely helps releasing that pressure, or at least reducing that pressure. In my opinion, has reduced the skin picking as well, because the pressure has been a big cycle, you know, caused a big cycle in my skin picking. The more pressure I felt from myself or external events, then made me skin pick more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel as a teenager, so, you know, we didn't have the same access to resources either. You know, we weren't spending as much time on the internet. So, and then I think there's always, you know, I'm sure it's completely different now, but when I was a teen, you know, we didn't, mental health wasn't, you know, talked about at all at the time. So, you know, there was sort of this you know, as there's teen pressure, and you have to be pretty and look good, and but people wouldn't talk openly about skin issues, or not at all, you know. It wasn't. So I think in many ways, I think there's you know, many more resources available now, and ways to find information and find other people and find help and find access to sort of tools and ways of helping each other. But I think that's definitely the sort of accessibility and awareness is there's still a lot to do, but is much better than a couple of years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I love the fact that I can go online, whether, you know, wherever it is on the internet, type it in, and there's something that can be useful to me. And because people are acknowledging what they're going through, they then over time have the confidence to speak to medical professionals or what have you, and then the research is developing, because the more people that are aware and seeking out, you know, looking for treatments and sharing their struggle, the more research can be put towards, you know, finding those treatments, like creating new treatments perhaps, or at least creating new products such as Nudge. So, you know, the more that we talk about what our compulsive behavior, the more that in time we are helping to expand the options available for us in managing them. So I think, you know, what you've done with the Nudge Band is like hugely helpful, because little things like this that help our compulsive behavior, for myself, dermatillomania, it just allows us to feel, you know, that we're on the straight and narrow. And there'll be times where, you know, it's a bit up and down. Sometimes where you feel like you're doing really well, and then you just have a really bad day, and you feel like you're back at square one in the moment, but then you just put, you know, you've got your band back on, and you're just ready to go and just start again. And yeah, I think it's a wonderful product. And if anybody wants to check out the Nudge Band, then you can go onto nudgeband.co.uk. We also have a 10% off discount code. So if you want to put Kim10 at checkout, then you'll get 10% off. And you'll be able to have a look at the bands as well as the different color band options as well, which is really snazzy. I really like the orange one. I think got my eye on the orange one next. So yeah, once again, thank you so much, Luisa. It's been so lovely to chat to you, and thank you again for everything that you've done and are doing yourself and the team at Nudge.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been great to be your guest today, and it's been a fantastic opportunity to talk about Nudge and BFRBs as well. And yeah, thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Well, have a lovely rest of your day, and I'm sure we'll speak very soon. Thank you so much, Luisa.